Okay, so hi guys, welcome to the Wednesday edition of Performance Seminar. Tonight we have 3 performers. This is also a Stage 2 performance seminar, so all the students here are Stage 2 students, and we also have one audience member. And all you guys are Stage 2, so that's awesome. So our first performer then, let me pull up the music real quick, and then we'll kind of go from there. All right. Cool. So our first performer is going to be Thao. So I guess if you want to go ahead, turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and then announce the name, your name, and the piece that you'll be playing for us. Right?
I'm Thao, and I'm going to play the Wild Horseman.
Nice. Awesome. You got 1 virtual clap and a few real claps as well. All right. Cool. And a couple more virtual claps. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to start the poll, and then you guys, and then we'll kind of go from there. Okay, so if you haven't been to a performance seminar before, we have, yeah, so if you haven't been to a performance seminar before, we have a new polling system. So how this works is I'm going to send a link in the chat. So if we could stop throwing the chat too much. And you'll go to that link, you'll click on it, and then you'll enter your name, and then you'll see the poll. Everyone except for Tal, of course, can fill out this. And then after that, you'll be able to, I'll see the results, what everyone gave, and then I'll share it at the very end. So I give everyone a moment to kind of do that. Just click on the link in the chat, and then it'll pull up a Oclef Pro page, and then you should be able to fill out the poll from there. Just make sure to put your name on the very top. All right. Yeah, and then if you have any verbal feedback, you can raise your hand, but make sure to do the poll first if you can. Yeah, so Hila, if you want to go ahead.
I'm saying I go finish the poll.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, if you want to go ahead. Yeah, I see the poll results coming in. So everyone make sure to fill out the poll, everyone except for Tal, of course. And Sahila, you can go ahead. What was your feedback?
So I feel like that the start when it's like, I feel like that
I don't know, like this part. 1 second. This part. Yeah, I can't play it anymore, but I played it 3 months ago. So, I think you should like try to keep it like in a better tempo, so you don't have to go like super fast on the parts that you mess up on. So you can go a little slower.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's something I'm mentioning earlier as well. But yeah, so definitely taking things at a slower tempo to kind of help out with how everything's going. And then, oh, can I explain each category of the poll? Yes. So articulation is basically staccato versus legato. How was each note like played? Do you feel like in terms of like when you looked at the music, did you feel like Thao played in accordance to the music? Like did she emphasize like the legato markings, the staccato markings, the slurs, all that? For balance is how loud you play each hand in relative to each other. So for example, was the right hand louder than the left hand? Was the left hand louder than the right hand? And did it work? Ideally, we want to try and keep our right and left hand as balanced as possible, but pretty much it's, I guess, how you feel also artistically fit in terms of how Thao played it. For dynamics is just what's written on the sheet. So there were several mezzo fortes and sforzandos throughout the piece, and there's also yeah, mezzo forte, forte, and sforzandos. So do you feel like she played those dynamics? Do you feel like she represented a mezzo forte dynamic later on, or did she represent the sforzandos as she was playing through? Movement is physical movement, so movement when you're playing. So do you feel like how well did Thao play in terms of like her movement throughout the piece? And then on the last part, phrasing, that's kind of a not really a stagey thing, but basically it's kind of how was the melody voiced? Did it feel like it was complete musical sentences, or did it feel like it was kind of like it was, there were like a lot of abrupt breaks or anything? Yeah, there's a lot of pieces that repeat in stage two, so you guys are likely to play like similar pieces or the same pieces pretty much as you're going through. Yeah. All right, cool. So we have the feedback results now. Does anyone have any more verbal feedback except for Sahil? Okay. Yeah, Sahil, I see the music. All right, so cool. So I'm gonna read out the poll, and then we'll kind of go from there. So on articulation, you got a 6, 8, 5, and 9. So kind of a wide variety within there. On terms of articulation, I think it was all right. I think you played very staccato through everything. So I would say, yeah. So what part? Oh, the new poll. So basically how it works is it's on an individual basis. So basically instead of averaging out everyone's like scores, I'm reading out what the number out of 10 that every person gave you. So when I say that you got something out of that, that means one person gave you this, this, or this. So when I say you got a 6, 8, 5, and 9 on articulation, it means that you got someone gave you a 6, someone gave you an 8 out of 10, someone gave you a 5 out of 10, someone gave you a 9 out of 10. Yeah. So that's then you can kind of average that out in your head if you want. Yeah. So yeah. So in terms of, and also then everyone's name is on there. So later on you can log on to Oclef Pro and look at this assessment, and you'll be able to see what the score that everyone gave you. But yeah. So you got a 6, 8, 5, and 9 articulation. I think articulation was okay. There was a lot of sections where I think you put like you played through staccato and there wasn't any variation between the staccato legato. So that'd be kind of something to work on. In terms of balance, you got a 6, 9, 5, and 9. Balance was all right. I think it was a little bit heavy on the left hand a little bit. So probably thinking through that in terms of the balance, in terms of that. Dynamics, and then Sahil, you don't have to write out what you gave. Thao can actually see the scores later on. Yeah. On dynamics, you got a 6, 7, 6, and 8. Dynamics were all right. I think it was a little top heavy. It was kind of within the same dynamics, so there wasn't much variation. So so that was, I think, the biggest thing to work on is dynamic variation, kind of differentiating the forte versus the mezzo forte. But in terms of the dynamic that you chose overall, it was fine. And then the last part, movement, 6, 7, 2, and 7. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of movement. So I think that was just because we were still kind of working through it a little bit more. So we weren't able to really work on incorporating movement. And then phrasing 6, 8, 1, and 7. So a wide range of scores there. But since we don't really discuss phrasing too much, I think mostly the only issue with in terms of the phrasing for stage 2 was just that there was a lot of pauses. So just kind of working through. And as Sahil mentioned, slowing down and kind of evening out those pauses. So giving you time to kind of work through everything. Yeah. All right.